Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be painting two beautiful galaxy bookmarks with warm and cool colors. So let's dive in. Using Gouache 100% cotton cold pressed watercolor paper, it's 300 GSM and I've taped it down to a glass piece with masking tape. I've just separated the paper into two like this, and I have my watercolors right here in the half pan set, and the colors that I'll be using today are bright rose, bright clear violet, Prussian blue, pines grey, and for the next one yellow light, bright orange, burnt sienna and Van Dyke brown. I'm also going to use cobalt turquoise hue, but I forgot to swatch it here. The brushes I'm using are by Schimoni Art. The first one is a modeler brush to apply water and a couple of round brushes to paint our galaxies, and I also have a jar of fresh water and paper towels. I simply mark the location for the planet first, then applying a light wash of water, avoiding the circle for wet on wet technique. Starting with a lighter color yellow, and I'm adding it to the paper randomly in a few areas. I'm building up the colors gradually, and now I'm going to add a slightly darker orange here. I'm not blending the colors together yet, just adding them to the paper wherever I feel it's needed, just letting them mix a little bit on their own. In some areas, I'm now going to add a little bit of burnt sienna. If you're new here or haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. It'll really help me to continue making more tutorials for you. After adding these three colors, I'm just blending them together a little bit. While the paper is still wet, I'm gradually adding more paint to increase the depth and vibrancy of the painting. Make sure your brush tip is neat and you rinse off any darker pigment before you dip into yellow or lighter colors. I'm just adding it to the paper and I'm not blending the colors at all here. I mixed pines grey and burnt sienna together to get a darker brown color. You can also use Van Dyke brown instead. I'm adding more depth to the painting by increasing the darker values that we have added before. With dabbing technique, I'm just blending the colors together a little bit. To finish off the first layer, I have added more yellow and burnt sienna. I'm using a heat gun to quickly dry it up, but you can use a hair dryer or let it air dry completely. I'm gently applying a light wash of water for our next layer. Make sure you don't put too much pressure on the brush. To add more depth, I started off with a darker brown color. I'll be applying the same or slightly darker colors in the same areas we have painted earlier. In the corners, I'm adding a little bit of black now. The paper is not fully dry, so the colors will mix together gradually. Finally, I'm adding yellow light and I'm going to blend the colors together. Feel free to ask me any questions regarding today's painting or watercolors in general. I would also love to know your suggestions for my future videos. I wanted to create a few bright spots of yellow here and there, so just with the tip of the brush, I'm adding the pigment without blending it. To create glowy stars, I'm adding a little bit of white gouache in a few areas. I've let the background dry completely and I'm applying a light wash of water to paint the planet. I'm painting a slightly more contrasting planet for this one, so I'm using lots of pinks and blues. I switched to a smaller size round brush to paint it. I'm alternating the colors between pink and blue. I'm also going to add white gouache. I'm adding a few details with Prussian blue and white gouache. This is also creating a lot of texture for the planet. We are done with the first bookmark. I'm gonna let it dry completely while we paint the next one. We'll also be creating a soft glow around the planet, so stay tuned for that. We'll be using wet on wet technique for this bookmark as well. I'm starting with bright rose and focusing mostly on the central part of the bookmark, and then added a little bit of permanent rose as well. I mixed bright clear violet and bright rose to get this mauve or purple color, and I'm adding it to the paper just beside the pinks. To cool it down a little bit, I have taken cobalt turquoise, and then to darken the corners I'm adding Prussian blue. Once I lay down the colors where I plan to, I'm going to blend them gently using the same dabbing technique. Now I'm gradually darkening some areas to add more depth to the galaxy. Before the paper dries up, I'm adding more pigment to brighten the painting, especially violets, as they dry out a lot lighter. While I'm doing this, I'm also blending them with the other colors. To create some variation and highlights, I'm also adding white gouache in a few areas, and in some places I'm not blending them too much. I wanted to connect both the pink shades, so I've taken bright rose and added it to the center here. Our first layer is done. I'm going to let it dry completely and then apply a light wash of water for the final layer. I'm adding the colors almost in the same places as before to create that vibrancy and depth in the painting. To retain the vibrancy, I'm not adding too much water to the paints. Just like the last layer, I'm adding white gouache in a few areas to create some highlights and a soft glow. As I'm blending the whites with the other colors, I'm wiping off any darker pigment on the brush in between. Using a damp brush, I'm lifting some of the paint to create more depth. Now to add stars, I'm gently tapping on the brush to splatter them randomly. You can also use another brush like this. I'm blending some of the stars that are on the planet. You can leave it as it is if you'd like. Now I'm creating a little bit of shadow on the planet, especially on the left side, using Payne's Grey mixed with a lot of water. Finally, we will finish it off by adding a soft glow around the planet. I'm using white gouache again. With a small round brush, I'm drawing a circle around the edge of the planet, and then with a damp brush, I'll blend it out as evenly as possible. That's it, an easy way to create a glowy planet. We are done with both the bookmarks, and here's a satisfying tape peel for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can also check out more videos here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram for regular updates. Happy painting. Bye.